See what happens, but that's for them to overcome now, and it's a very difficult situation. That's a 24 hours on, 48 hours on from that. So the good news is they're heavyweights. They don't have to check weigh, and hopefully they can.
I'm a bit sick of it, to be honest. I feel as though the sport needs. We always used to take the piss. When I was younger, I remember cycling had such a bad reputation. Everybody being a cheat. Had a really bad reputation.
So I'm probably disappointed. I'm probably gutted. I'm something has to change, but I don't know who knew what. I'm thinking, why don't I just come out there then? You know, I knew, and I'm hearing everybody else is saying they've only just found out.
Breaking news. Canelo Alvarez has reportedly backed out of the fight with Terence Crawford just one day before it was set to happen. Many say this proves why fans question his drive. He insists it's about respect and recognition, but it seems clear that Crawford's slick, elusive style has made him uneasy. Rather than stepping up to cement his legacy, Canelo appears to be walking away from the challenge.
Canelo doesn't really want to fight ball. Right? He's never really liked that fight. Of course, for a couple of reasons. One, he feels that he's going to get no credit because he's much bigger than him. And two, he doesn't want to fight movers. You know what I mean?
Crawford's response made it clear why he's seen as a true champion. Calm, respectful, and ready to face anyone at any time. That's where the contrast lies. While Canelo chose to step away at the last moment, Crawford stood firm, showing that real greatness comes from taking on the toughest challenges, not avoiding them.
I can say a lot of negative things about Canelo's resume, but I won't. You know, I wanna, you know, what I mean, pay homage to the fighters that he fought, and if he don't wanna pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're gonna say after I beat him.
Then comes another voice that makes the contrast even clearer. Dave Allen might joke about quitting, but the irony hits hard. It perfectly mirrors how Canelo appears right now. Walking away just a day before the biggest fight isn't clever strategy, it's seen as giving up. And the boxing world won't forget it anytime soon.
And you know what, it's horrific to say I've quit. It's not horrific to say I'm a quitter. I'm chairman of the quit committee. I'm the top quitter, I guess. Anyway.
And that leads to the big question. Was this truly ducking or something completely different? Johnny Nelson may try to downplay it, but let's be honest. When a fighter withdraws just 24 hours before the fight, it looks like ducking to most fans. Boxing has always been about courage, not convenience, and right now, Canelo's choice leaves people drawing only one conclusion.
American broadcaster, he's no longer the challenger. He's the A-side, he's the one that can predict, and he's not the opponent, so he's going to make the most of the opportunity that he's in. But I don't believe that he doesn't want to fight.
He's not ducking, is he?
Nah, he don't do that.
Because,
as Tony Bellew notes, the drama has already overshadowed everything, leaving fans unsure what to believe anymore. He points out the real heartbreak. Supporters had fully invested in this fight. Clashes of this magnitude don't come often. The hype was through the roof, and now Canelo's withdrawal has crushed that excitement. Crawford was prepared to risk it all, while Canelo offered only excuses. And that's the painful twist in this story.
It's all part and parcel. When you get involved in these kind of things, you have to just accept it. And everyone's bought into the fight. We all know the drama, the rivalry's real.
When Spencer Oliver and Simon Jordan weigh in, their message is sharp. Actions have consequences. At this level, there are no do-overs. Boxing's legacy is built on risk, courage, and the will to create history. By backing out at the last moment, Canelo undercuts all of that. If you walk away from the challenge, then maybe the sport should walk away from you.
Yeah, listen, I've always been strong on that. I've always been strong on the fact that I don't believe in giving them a second chance.
You're basically saying no 3 strikes and you're out.
No 3 strikes.
2 strikes and you're out.
No.
One, you fail the test and gone ski.
Absolutely, because I just believe then that moving forward, people would think twice about doing it. If they think, well, you know what, I'll get a second chance anyway, you know.
Teddy Atlas cuts through all the noise. Real fighters chase the toughest challenges, no excuses. Crawford was eager and ready, openly asking for the fight. Canelo, on the other hand, flinched when it mattered most. That contrast says it all about who's chasing greatness and who's trying to escape it.
And what he wants to do. He wants to fight the best guy available. He was ready to fight the best guy available, the world champion. So give me the next best guy. well, this guy, you know, you sure? I mean, you want it? Yeah.
Then Frank Warren steps in, breaking down just how chaotic and costly this pullout really is. His words highlight the circus this has turned into, a global mega fight reduced to legal battles and confusion, all because Canelo Alvarez walked away at the last moment. This wasn't a business deal falling apart weeks in advance. It was a fighter's personal choice made just a day before. And for fans, that changes everything. Crawford put his body, time, and reputation on the line. He showed up ready. Canelo didn't. Instead of honoring the sport, he plunged it into chaos, arguments, and blame. That's not what a pound-for-pound great does. That's what someone does when they're trying to avoid danger.
You know, let the penny drop that the fight could never go forward. And some of the stuff that's come out since about people being, you know, all being sued at some point, and stuff, it was just a non-runner. It's crazy.
And Frank Warren didn't stop there. His next comments exposed the real cost of Canelo's decision. This is the brutal truth behind his last-minute exit. It's not just disappointment, it's financial wreckage. Crawford invested weeks in training camp with sparring partners, nutritionists, chefs, and coaches, all building toward what could have been a career-defining moment. Every dollar spent was an investment in history. But because Canelo walked away a day before, Crawford and his entire team are left paying the price without even getting to fight. True champions risk everything to create moments that last forever. Instead, this fight leaves only losses: financial, emotional, and historic. Canelo didn't just walk away from Crawford. He stole a moment from the entire sport.
Pissed off. I mean, he was a big fight. He's trained very hard. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. And you imagine the cost involved in a training camp. You know, booking places to set the camp up, bringing the sparring partners in, the nutritionists, the chefs, the trainers, and everybody, and you don't get paid. It's a massive loss. You can't insure it, or if you do, it costs a fortune to insure. But very, very disappointing.
Mackenzie perfectly explains why fans are outraged by Canelo's withdrawal. Crawford wasn't just prepared, he was fearless, stepping up 2 weight classes without hesitation. That kind of mindset is what defines greatness. He showed no fear of the size difference, no doubt about his speed or power holding up, and even predicted he'd win on points. When you place that courage next to Canelo's retreat, the contrast is undeniable. One fighter was ready to make history, while the other walked away from it. As Mackenzie points out, Crawford's mentality was built for the brightest stage, but Canelo chose to leave it empty.
But there's not a difference in class, in my opinion, in this fight. Canelo is not head and shoulders above Crawford in terms of class. If there is a class difference, it'll be in Crawford's favour. I think Crawford's much more classier.
Crawford's trainer, Bulmack, even revealed how they had planned to break Canelo down once the early adjustments were made. He shared that Crawford's true strength is his ability to adapt. Sure, the opening rounds might have been close, but history shows Crawford always solves the puzzle and then takes control. That's what makes Canelo's withdrawal so telling. He knew exactly what he was facing. A smart, strategic fighter who studies, adapts, and then dismantles his opponents. This time, brute strength wouldn't have been enough. Bulmack's confidence in Crawford said it all. The strategy was set, the camp was complete, and the expectation was dominance. The only thing missing was a Canelo brave enough to step through the ropes on fight night.
Nutritionist, everything got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
You know, you mentioned an interesting thing in an interview with one of our guys at Riyadh.
Eddie Hearn summed up exactly why this whole situation is so frustrating. Even if Canelo had lost, his legacy would have stayed intact. No one would have questioned his all-time great status for daring to face Crawford, a fighter moving up from welterweight. If anything, it could have earned him even more respect. Instead, he pulled out just a day before, dodging the fight millions wanted to see. The real risk wasn't his legacy, it was his ego. Losing to a smaller opponent might have hurt his pride, not his career. That's the truth behind this decision. Canelo didn't protect his record, he hurt his reputation. Meanwhile, Crawford was ready to do exactly what Hearn described: seize the moment, push himself to the highest level, and maybe pull off a historic upset. And by walking away, Canelo handed Crawford a symbolic victory without a single punch being thrown.
If Terence, one, do you think if Canelo loses, it hurts anything to his legacy?
No, Canelo's an all-time great. He's an incredible fighter. And look,
I actually think this is a bad fight for him because you're losing to a 147, obviously 154 now. But the money's the money, and he was never going to turn it down.
The fight that never happened might echo louder than many that did. Canelo Alvarez walking away from the Crawford bout just a day before wasn't just a cancellation. It sent a message about fear, pride, and the cost of legacy. Terence Crawford was willing to jump 2 divisions and risk everything for greatness, while Canelo chose comfort over challenge. Imagine the stakes if they had met in the ring. A win over Crawford could have sent Canelo's reputation skyrocketing, but many fans and analysts quietly believed Crawford's skill set, his adaptability, slick movement, and calculated aggression was built to expose Canelo's flaws. Who's mentally tougher? Crawford, without question. He trains for battle, not headlines. Who wanted it more? Clearly Crawford, because he showed up. History celebrates those who step forward, not those who step back. The disappointment is heavy, but the debate is still raging. Was Canelo justified, or did he rob Crawford of his shot at greatness? Share your thoughts in the comments. The boxing world is watching. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another knockout update.